with in a way that um, anyone can find a way how to work with us.
Yeah.
I believe that during a race or pre-running for a race, there's a bunch of things that may come out, and one of the things that we don't like is the people who come for pre-running and then the first, second day, how is Baja, and then it frustrated because they cannot keep pre-running. Some guys are in a tight agenda,
Yeah.
and we all know that some people do this because they like it, and some other people, I mean, have sponsors and they want to come out with a good race, So what Baja Power House offers is a way that you can bring your pre-runner or race car and you can work on it, or we can put someone qualified to make it.
Yeah.
Other thing we can do is just if you break in the middle of Baja, you can give us a call and say, Juan Carlos, we need a choice. We need a UTV or we need to finish our pre-running, so we can go there, bring your pre-runner to our shop, and deliver a UTV for you. So, so I think we take this, for serious. We know there's a lot of fun when people come and racers come to pre-run and race, but there's always a reason is to finish the race, so we are there for them.
Yeah. So again, for my off-road race team owners and team managers, I really vetted JC last night over dinner about this shop, and I think it's an incredible resource because, as he just mentioned, if you're out pre-running and you have a little issue and you need to get back out there pre-running either later that day or the next day, to be able to go to a shop and have all the tools there and the resources. And certainly, if you need to scour the town for parts, his guys would know where to get those parts. I just think it's a great resource that really hasn't existed down here. I mean, we've all known people in different towns. It's like, hey, you think so-and-so's at the shop? But you never know. And in your case, you're there. That's permanent.
Yeah, as I said, 15 years working for the hotel and tourist business, and now 10 years. This is the 10th year for Baja Voyager,
oh, wow.
2019, and involving racing. So we have a lot of partners, so we know that we can. This is why we always give a yes as an answer. Someone told us someday that those guys never say no. That's the point. That's the point.
Well, that's the point of this show, too. The answer is yes.
Yeah.
Well, I know that you had a really good 2018, and we're heading into 2019, and you're excited about your plans and what you're doing there. So what do you have on the horizon for 2019? What adventures or what's new this year coming up?
Well, year by year, there's new teams coming to us and new guests asking us for services. Well, my goal for this year is just to make Baja Power House and Baja Voyager stronger. We don't necessarily need to grow.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we're looking around for some other choices, as we talked last night during dinner. And if it doesn't mean too much or so big investment, we will go ahead and make it.
Yeah.
But if not, what my point and our point as a family business is just to keep together and make the business stronger and promote. We're going to be out there more than before. We're going to go other side of the border, attend the shows, and show our face and show what we got.
Yeah.
And shake hands.
Yeah. Oh, this is a good reminder for everybody. By the way, we've been sending clients your way, not as many as I'd like to, but to tour the Valle there, the Valle de Guadalupe, and see the wineries. And I think you guys have been accustomed to the different wineries, so that's an option too.
Yeah, well, the wine country, short trips like to San Felipe. Some people prefer to go to see the beaches or La Bufadora. We can do that too.
Yeah.
But the wine country, it's so important. There's a lot of people who knock the door to us for that.
Yeah.
And yes, we can do that.
Yeah. So again, for the listeners here, Juan operates in Mexico. So the best way to work with you, if they wanted to come and do the wine tour like in a day, is for them to park on the San Diego side, walk over, and then you'll pick them up right there on the other side of the border. I know that we've made several arrangements for a group of people to walk across, meet you, and then you bring them down through TJ down into the Valle, do the wine tour, and then take them back to the border at the end of the day.
Exactly. Well, it's just like a dream,
Yeah.
Because, it's just today, but yes, we can make it.
Yeah.
Yes, we can make it. This is the way we worked before, and then we enjoy it very much.
Now, I know on occasion people decide they're going to stay the night, and we had a group. You arranged for a last-minute hotel here in town in Ensenada. at a great rate, and then you were able to get them back home the next day. So we appreciate that level of service too.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, because plans change, don't they?
Yeah, and then when you have just more time, I mean, the more time you have to spend in Baja is the better, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, just if they come with a plan, we can follow up the plan. But if they don't have a plan or they have a day off, there's where we can work with them.
I love the flexibility because things always change down here. I brought guests down, and exactly that. We were enjoying the day. It's like, oh, let's just stay another night.
Yeah.
You got to be flexible.
Exactly. And there's a lot of things to see and a lot of places where to go.
Yeah. So, kind of to conclude some of this, if somebody were to call you and just say, "Hey, JC, I've got 4 days. I want to do something in Baja," what would be your recommendation?
As an example, well, of course, you spend the first night here in Ensenada, visit the wine country, right? And probably take him south to San Felipe, eat well, and go head to Gonzaga.
Yeah.
Why not? Spend the night over there. I mean, the best and the most beautiful sunrise. I mean, as much as I like it. I love it. That's my best. And then probably go across. A must stop is Cocos, right?
Of course.
And then go back to Cataviña, which is, I think, one of the most beautiful places of the desert of Baja, right? Spend another night over there. And then go back to the Valley of San Quintin, probably stop in Erendira for a good meal, beautiful sightseeing, and then come back to Ensenada.
You mentioned Coco's. Will you tell our listeners what Coco's is?
Oh, yeah, of course. Well, Coco's Corner, it's one of the most well-known corners on the old road or the race course in Baja.
Yeah.
And Coco is the owner, They make Coco's Corner because there is where the race course, go off to Highway 1 from San Felipe, It's an incredible place. You have to experience it,
Yeah, that's a good point. It's hard to describe. He's a special person. I know that the racers have grown to love him and appreciate him for what he is and who he is. And you're right, that corner's famous. It's almost, and I know that they're paving that road further and further each day, but, seeing and getting to Coco's Corner gives you this sense of familiarity where you've been on a dirt road for a while, and then all of a sudden, oh, there's Coco's Corner. I'm going the right direction.
Oh, yeah, and then on the side, he's got cold beer all the time. But I want to make a comment.
Yeah.
Like in March, every year we make a motorcycle ride, adventure motorcycle ride, named Playa to the Playa.
Uh-huh.
And this year we come up with something new. My sister, which is about 72, 73, is going to make a trip with us all the way down south for 10 days.
Uh-huh.
Now it's named Grandma to the Playa.
Grandma to the Playa.
Yeah. So this is going to be the second trip. This is going to be the second year for the trip. And we take like 10 ladies all the way down south because they want to see Baja.
Uh-huh.
One of our obligated stops is Coco's Corner.
Yeah.
Yeah, they love it.
That's wonderful.
They love it.
That's great. So I'm going to put you on the spot, just like all my other Baja veterans. And I don't know why this becomes such a topic because we had such a wonderful meal last night. But best taco in Baja?
I would say El Zarpazo.
Oh, that was quick.
Yeah.
And where is that located?
El Zarpazo have two locations. One, it's 1 block east of the airport in Ensenada.
Yes.
And the other one is in Avenida Riverol and Calle and 9th Street.
Okay.
Right on the north side of the street. Zarpazo, no better.
Why?
Well, handmade tortillas, corn, yellow corn.
Okay. Yellow corn.
And the salsas, the guacamole, handmade. And, the adobada tacos. You're going to get in love. Of course.
Well, I've had a lot of veteran racers and Baja explorers down here. Now we're starting. It's a thing. We ask the question, the best tacos. So, I'm a big fan of Trolero here in town.
Oh, well, I mean, that's another good choice, But I know in my preference, it's not as packed as a Trailero, and it's very tasty. And, all the time when someone asks me or I take a group over there, I mean, they never regret.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, listen, I really appreciate you coming on the show today and sharing what you're doing. if somebody wants to get a hold of you, how do they reach out? Do you have numbers, emails, websites?
Yeah. Thank you very much for mentioning that. Now social media, we're on Facebook as Baja Voyager. We're on Facebook as Baja Power House. You can contact us through there, or you can contact my personal page, which is Juan Carlos Pacheco. And other ways to call to our toll-free number, 1-800-278-2844. Okay. Or get to our webpage and fill up a request form.
Yeah.
And tell us, you're coming just for 1 day or 2 days, or any question, feel free to do it. We're going to be happy to help.
That's wonderful. Well, again, as a reminder, you are a yes man to me. I've enjoyed getting to know you over the last few years. And anytime we've needed something as a team or just as a traveler down here, you've always said yes, and you've made it happen for us, as well as for us as a company, and then us as a race team. And I just encourage other people to check out the Baja Voyager webpage and see what you guys are doing. Reputable, professional, reliable, all those things that we'd expect. There's a lot of people, and I don't mean to get off in left field here, but a lot of people question the reliability of services down here in Mexico. And I've seen nothing but the opposite. Great service, great people, and reliable and willing to do anything. Now they might have a little Mexico time, meaning 10, 15, 20 minutes late, but
it was not the case today.
No. Hey, you were early today. I was referring to another guest, but you might have a little Mexico time, but the service down here is undeniable.
You know what? Now when you mention that, it's very important for me to tell to the audience that the best way to enjoy the trip in Baja is to get immersed in the culture and learn. You just mentioned it about, Mexican time. And it's funny, but some other people who come to Baja expect to be like in the U.S. or any other country, and show up 10 minutes before. This is Mexico. And on the side of that, sometimes when people is late, you're going to find a lot of fun and a lot of honest people. Yeah. And you will see that people is open arms to have you here.
Yeah. It's not really late. Culturally, like you said, you come here and you slow down a little bit and people are more understanding. When I first started my wine business down here, just due to not knowing the roads or the exact location of where my meetings were, I was finding myself, 5-10 minutes late often. Mm-hmm. And everybody's like, oh, no problem. They were actually surprised that I apologized for being late, but I understand culturally people are relaxed. And I think when you cross that border, right, jump that wall, you need to relax, leave your American traditions there and enjoy some Baja traditions and get on Baja time.
That's the best way to enjoy it. What you have to expect is the best service, and friendship, but the sacrifice sometimes is a little bit of time,
Yeah.
Let's say you ask for guacamole. If you have to wait 10 more minutes, you will see the difference.
Yeah, well, listen, speaking of that, the salsa that I waited 10 minutes for because he made it at my table last night was worth every second it took. I would have waited 20 minutes for that salsa. It was really amazing. Speaking of time, and I don't get to do this often, but, this morning I got up here. We have a place here in Costa Corral, and enjoyed my cup of coffee, the walk down to the water, and everything was just okay.
Yeah.
Life was good. My wife says, I'm in my happy place.
Yeah, exactly. And sometimes when you go down south in the peninsula, and the phone is not ringing, well, sometimes you need it, right?
It's a blessing when and he's referring to the cell phone not ringing because there's no service down there. But you're right. Sometimes you do need that. Let's leave it at that. Come down to Baja, reset your clock, maybe reset your life. Call Baja Voyager and enjoy probably the most incredible trip of a lifetime with Juan Carlos, his team, and exploring what this great peninsula is all about.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, my pleasure. Well, it was wonderful to have Chris on the phone, and there we have it, another episode of The Answer is Yes. Again, my apologies for the delay in the show, and see what happens when you put things off because you're trying to enjoy your holiday. you have technical difficulties. So round 2, I think we got some great information out there. And one of the critical things that we talked about was saying yes to me.